Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and it has been a while. I did have a big break over summer. I was very busy and it was very hot and I just needed some YouTube away from time. But I am back now and there will be more videos again, and yay! If you are new here, hi and welcome. Please consider subscribing and joining us. I make videos regularly now on branding, visuals, social media, all aimed at independent musicians. So if that is useful to you, then please stick around. Okay, so one of the things I have been really busy with over summer is actually doing staging and set design. I did some stuff for Pride and for Copenhagen Fashion Week, and also worked at an art fair. So today, as I am inspired by set design and staging, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to just boost your onstage brand, onstage presence, and it will be mostly in terms of visuals and communication because those things are prominent when you're on stage. You want to create the brand that you've made online and push that out on stage as well, so your audience has the complete package. And so people who have found value from you online and from listening to your music on Spotify, they then get the added experience of the live show, and it gives them even more value, an even better experience, and that in turn creates loyalty. It means they're definitely going to go to your next show. It means they're going to tell their friends about it, etc. It's going from being good to amazing. Okay, let's dive right in. That was a long intro for me, wasn't it? Okay, so first of all, just open up your mind to doing something different. A lot of bands, and I totally get it because not everyone has the time, the resources, the budget for staging, but a lot of bands do kind of all appear on one level. You've got the drummer at the back on a podium, you've got all the people in a line in the band. It's all very one level, and then sometimes you have a backdrop, so it just goes from the top to the bottom and then everyone is one level. So just first of all consider levels and look at some of the artists, and it could be big, could be local. Look at a range and just see what they're doing with their staging, and also look at artists that have a similar kind of brand to you in terms of how visual heavy are they. If you're a super visual heavy brand, you need to be looking at staging, and look at other artists that are visual heavy. It doesn't matter if they're the same genre, but have a look at them and see what they're doing with their staging. If you're looking at really big artists, that's fine. Just look at how you can adapt to your own budget, or bring it down to your kind of level, resource wise. That's fine. You can still take inspiration. Don't get caught in the trap of looking at what big artists are doing in any regards and thinking, oh well, I can't do that because of this. Sort of embrace the having to get creative. I enjoy that challenge of, if someone's like, right, I've got this budget, I'm like, right, okay, how can I do this big thing on this budget? And it really makes you resourceful, it makes you creative, and that is where you can shine. So yeah, first thing is consider levels and look at what other artists are doing. 2 tips right there. Okay, and then obviously you need to consider your brand foundation that you have built by now, because you've watched this video and you have worked out a brand foundation. You may have even bought my course, which is linked down below, to really dive deep into your brand and get a solid foundation built so you know who you are, what you're about, and your audience knows what they're going to get from you. Okay, so you've done that. So think how your staging adds to that. So you've got this foundation. What can you do next in the live show to actually build and develop from that? What is the perfect staging? Or it doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. What is some great staging for the brand foundation you've built? How does the live show visuals encapsulate your foundation? That's quite a hard question, but you've got this, it's all good. And also in terms of brand and encapsulating that on stage, consider your communication. How are you talking to your audience? How does that build from your communication you have online and in correspondence with people? Make sure that everything's aligned, but not so consistent that you can't have playtime. So you have your brand core foundation, but then you can do photo shoots that lead on from that. Your staging will lead on from that. Your communication on stage can lead on from that, but it has to all be brought together by a vein. Yeah. So don't go to the other way. Don't make it too consistent and too many rules. You have to break free and develop from the foundation you've built. Okay, and if you are really into staging, or maybe you have a friend who is good at either architecture or DIY or making things, just any kind of person within your network or in your band that has those skills, or like online sort of Adobe Creative Suite, 3D rendering, if you have anyone who does any of that in your network, then get them on board for your staging. And what I do with things is basically the idea is to come up with the initial concept and then convey the idea to the client. So for you guys, it would be conveying the idea to your team, or as a band, just seeing it come to life together and checking everyone's happy with it. So if you can, think of your initial concept and then do rough sketches, 3D sketches, make little scale models if you're into that, anything that can see how it's going to come to life. It might be super simple, it might be just a Pinterest board, yeah, anything that gives you a taste of what it's going to be like, and then you go to the full staging, rather than go all out, put it on stage, and then be like, oh no, this is not what we wanted. So just if you are visual heavy, if you are into the staging, and if you're at that established level, then it is good to have that middle ground of testing ideas. If not, then that's fine too. But for some of you, you will be at that level. Yeah, so also you just need to consider how much the live show and the staging is part of who you are as an artist. Some artists will love to tour and be all about the live show. Some of you will be more about the actual recording and the production and just want to release songs without ever gigging, maybe. Some of you will be really into making videos. Think about what it is for you. And again, you don't have to do things just because you feel you should. If you veer towards one of those more than the others, then do that more. So obviously this is veered towards bands and artists who are all about the live show. So if the live show is really important and that's where you really come alive and that's where your audience get the most value from you, then definitely put some effort into the staging just to take it up another level. Okay, if you are not about the live show, then maybe you'll use this in a different way for videos, or for like performance in videos, or for live streaming, I don't know, but you can also adapt it to your needs. But predominantly, if you are all about the live show, then don't forget to consider staging and bringing your brand on stage in terms of communication. Okay, and then lastly, we have some practical things to consider. You need to work within your own budget. You need to look at how you can transport this staging. If you have big transport available, then obviously that gives you more freedom. If you are very limited, if you have to fly, you have to consider transport and budget. And then also adaptability. Are you playing all different kinds of stages, all different sizes, all different venues, outside, inside? Consider these elements when you're building your stage design, because certain things are easy to transport and certain things are not. And if you are doing, say, a one-off massive show and you want crazy staging, then you have way more freedom than if you're doing a European tour where you have a tiny suitcase and much more limited space. So just consider your own practical needs as well when thinking of this initial concept, and then obviously developing the idea. Think about all the tick boxes that you have to tick. So things like fabric, banners, that kind of stuff is easy to transport. I would say try and branch out a little bit from that, because that is quite normal. You really want to make an impact and do something that is unique to you, but also it does have to be practical. And maybe you'll be like, okay, well, we'll have this for now, but in the future we'd love to do this. That's fine too, because you're thinking ahead, you're thinking about your development, your growth as an artist, and your brand development as well. Okay, so that is all for today. I hope this was helpful. It's quite niche, but you know, hey, it's fun and it's a part of your brand and it's a part of the live show, and we want to give people an amazing experience. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. See you next time. Bye.